Hello everyone, how are we doing? You are on my YouTube Transformation Masterclass. So huge thank you to everyone who has turned up live for this. Hello, you can see me now. Hi Ashley, hi James. Thank you for coming along. Thank you everybody else who's going to be drifting in over the next couple of minutes. Quite excited about what I've got to present to you for the next hour. A little bit nervous as well. This is my first ever live webinar, so I'm not expecting anything to go wrong, but I'm just going to presume that something will, and that will just make everything work out perfectly. That's what I'm hoping for. So, as you can tell, this masterclass is going to show you how you can easily revamp your business's YouTube channel into an optimized showcase for your business in just the next 60 minutes. So a lot of people have asked me over the years, but certainly over the past few weeks while I've been developing and writing this masterclass on certain elements of YouTube. So I'm hoping I can answer as many of those questions in the next hour as possible. You have the chat window there, so by all means, ask questions, get chatting to everybody. I can see Tracy's there. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you. So yes, definitely ask some questions. I'm going to get through to all the questions at the very end. So yeah, make some notes as well. Make sure you got a notepad, fresh cup of tea, whatever it is. Because a lot of people have come to this because they understand that YouTube is basically that marketing asset that can sell on autopilot for you. It builds trust more than anything else. It will help beat the AI revolution that we've got coming. And ultimately, it will make you charge more money for the products and services you sell as well. So I'm sure everybody wants that. There's not going to be any technical or creative talk in this either. I'm not going to be talking over your heads on any of this. We're all talking strategy, 100%, and actionable things that you can do and things that you can take away from this masterclass and put into action. And I'm also going to talk about how I can help you with that as well. I will be relaunching my own Box Set Media YouTube channel in the next couple of months as well. So I'd really like to do that with a group of people as well. So hopefully if you get something out of this, you will be part of that group as well. So doesn't matter if this is the first time you've logged into YouTube. Doesn't matter if maybe like most people, you know you have a YouTube account for your business, but you have no idea where the password is. I know that's certainly what I was like for quite a few years. Then this is for you. You're definitely going to get something out of this. So who is this masterclass for? This is for expert-led businesses who use their knowledge, experience, and skills to get ahead of their competitors. So if you are in one of these categories, then you are an expert-led business. If you use your knowledge, your skills, your experience, your wisdom, your years of business, and that puts you ahead of all your competitors, then YouTube is a tool that you should be using in your business. This is by no means an exhaustive list of businesses. You know, we have personal chefs on there, tutors, travel agents, tax advisors, all sorts of people. But if the knowledge and the skills that you have is an asset to your business and you believe that that makes you better than your competitors, essentially, then YouTube is going to be a really powerful tool for you. So that could be whether you're a blue chip company, you know, if you're a big multinational organization, right down to the sole traders and lifestyle businesses like myself, then YouTube is definitely a tool you want to be utilizing. So you're in the right place if you're one of those businesses. You are not in the right place, unfortunately, if you would consider yourself an influencer or a YouTuber. Now, I've got nothing against YouTubers or influencers, well, not much really. But if you don't have a product or service that you sell, then this webinar, this masterclass isn't for you. If like YouTubers and influencers in my eyes are people who want to monetize YouTube, they want to put out content that gets as many views as possible and they want to earn a living from that. Any residual income from YouTube is great, but that's not what we're going to be talking about here. We're going to be talking about developing an evergreen asset for your business, something that can make money for you and allow you to sell more products and services or charge more for those products and services. If you did want to monetize your channel, then on average, I figured out that it takes around 10,000 views to earn enough money to earn the same amount of money that you would earn working 1 day for minimum wage. So 10,000 views for 1 day minimum wage work. It's great, it's beer money, but that is not something I'm going to be talking about on this masterclass. So now we have that out of the way. If this isn't for you, then by all means log off and go about your Wednesday evening as you wish. But if you're here, what you're going to learn in this masterclass, by the end of this training, you will see how an optimized YouTube channel for your business is essential for becoming the go-to authority in your field and staying ahead of your competition forever. I'll say that again. An optimized YouTube channel is essential for becoming the go-to authority in your field and staying ahead of your competition forever. And there are, there are 4 reasons really why YouTube is the tool that will bring you that success. The first thing is that YouTube is big. We know YouTube is big. It has been bought, it's always bought by Google several years ago. It's the second biggest search engine in the world, but it's actually the biggest search engine in the UK. And I only discovered this a few days ago, actually. I should have updated this slide. Couldn't be asked, to be honest. But that is a fact, that YouTube is the biggest search engine in the UK. And we all know how to play by the rules when it comes to Google. We have Google My Business accounts. We know to get reviews on there. We know obviously about search engine optimization, everything to do with building an optimized website. That shop window for our businesses is up and running, and that's working as it should. But what about your YouTube shop window? Because even if it's just the second or third biggest search engine on the planet, it's still something that you should get nice and tidy. And the majority of people have probably got shop windows on YouTube that are more like ram-raided bric-a-brac shops. They're just full of random videos that you've uploaded at some point. There's no real system to it, and it doesn't put your business in a good light. So with that in mind, you've got to think, okay, is YouTube something I should be spending time on? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. Another reason is that AI, as we know it right now, is killing search engine optimization. So what we think we know about how Google works, about blogging, all these things, we've said about making your Google homepage or your Google shop window, as optimized as possible. That is dying. That is changing because we were kind of drowning in badly written content years before ChatGPT came along. And now we have ChatGPT. I can't go a day without seeing some kind of rubbish written on either LinkedIn or even private messages and emails to me that I can tell have been written by a robot. And I'm like, can you not be asked to even do a second pass on this? And that means that there's going to be even more ChatGPT and robot written content online. And so Google are countering that. They've introduced what they're calling search generative experience. So from now on, if you search for something on Google, there's a chance that you will see an AI written summary before you see search results. So if you rely on getting traffic to your website through Google, then search generative experience is going to change that and possibly remove it altogether. So AI is definitely kind of affecting the trust that we have as well in the written word. That's only going to get harder with the proliferation of AI. And so that leaves us with trust. Trust is being reduced because of AI. And we know people buy from people. 58% of people consider companies that produce video more trustworthy. So if you're familiar with if you do a lot of networking, for example, maybe you do public speaking or appear in the media, you know how much that face-to-face contact is, how important that is to your business. But it's time consuming, and video is the best replacement we have for that. Certainly COVID taught us that with how Zoom exploded because we wanted to see each other. And so videos that show faces of your business, of your team, of your customers, build trust, absolutely nothing else. And it's 100% authentic. AI cannot fake it. I know AI is definitely trying to fake things when it comes to faces. I don't think we're quite there yet. So it's nothing that I'm going to be worried about. And then finally, it's the fact, like, if you know that an optimized YouTube channel is going to make you the go-to authority in your field, then one of the biggest reasons why people aren't doing it is because people are scared. I found a stat about, I think I want to say it was about 10 years ago, of 1 in 10 businesses use YouTube to promote their business. And that was such a ridiculous number. I thought that is so small. So I did some research again last year, and the stat remains the same. Still, 90% of businesses know that video is one of the best marketing tools out there, but still don't use it. And it's something that my one of my mentors say about making your hula hoop bigger. It's around the fact that some things are out of our comfort zone, but it's actually doing those things, making your hula hoop bigger, that get you to where you want to be. So YouTube has a daily search kind of quota, or daily search amount of 3.5 billion searches, which is one search per 2 people on the planet. So you've got to think, do you want to be in that 90% that aren't capturing that search traffic? Or do you want to be in the 10% that are, and get ahead of 90% of your competitors who simply can't be asked to do it, or are maybe scared, or just don't think that it's the future, because quite frankly, it is the future. So hopefully you can now see how an optimized YouTube channel is the only way that you will become the go-to authority in your field and get ahead of your competitors. So if you can see that even clearer by the end of this training, then I would have done a good job. So let me know in the chat how that all sounds. Let me know if that all makes sense. And then we will crack on to talking about me. No, I won't talk about me too much. Just why am I talking to you? Hopefully some of you know who I am. This is a fantastic split screen, isn't it? Look at that. That's great. I don't know why I had a landline in 2002 in my bedroom, but there you go. That's what happened. Let me give you a closer look at that. So I started working in video since before YouTube was around. I started professionally in 2005, which was the same year that YouTube actually launched. And let's get rid of that photo. And then I started my business, Box Set Media, in 2009. And over the years, we've made, I think, over 4,000 edits altogether for clients across the globe. So we work a lot with like public sector organizations, blue chip companies, multinational organizations. So as you can see on here, NHS, EG Group, Santander, Century 21, Barclays, a lot of big organizations. And I love the video work I do. It's I say since 2009, I've kept the business small. I am a lifestyle business. I'm proud of that. But the work I do is really fulfilling. I do really enjoy the production side, the editing in particular. And I launched my first YouTube course in 2013. So I have been working on some like training content since then. But as I say, I'm a lifestyle business, and I hang around with a lot of other lifestyle businesses as a result. And so I get asked a lot of questions around video production, video marketing. What kind of camera should I use? What video editing software should I use? And questions around YouTube and social media. So I've now started the Video Made Simple Academy, as you can see on here. So that is my video training arm of the business. And this webinar is part of that. I'm going to be doing more webinars throughout the year, free content that will help businesses of all sizes, but in particular small businesses, make better video faster and cheaper. Because I did some research last year, I think it was. I sent some very sneaky emails to some competitors across the UK under a pseudonym, and found out that the average cost of a video, of a corporate video in the UK, is £2,500. Now, for a lot of my video production clients, that's not a lot of money. That is kind of the minimum I go in with when people ask me how much a video costs. But £2,500 is a lot of money for lifestyle businesses. It would be for me if I was spending that amount of money on one piece of marketing. And so if I can help just one business save £2,500 that they might have spent with my company, with any company, that they could have done themselves in a more, I guess, lo-fi, a DIY way, but still being effective, then I think I've done a good job. So hopefully some of you on this call will get something actionable out of this webinar that you can then take forward. So what are we going to go through in the next 45 minutes or so? There are 3 steps, I believe, to getting that optimized YouTube channel to put yourself ahead of your competitors. And the first step always starts with a plan. So we're going to go through how you can create a 12-month video marketing plan and deliver, essentially give yourself a year's worth of ideas for your content in just a matter of minutes. Then we're going to move on to how you actually make those videos. So I've got my top YouTube hacks on how you can optimize your videos, outperform 99% of businesses online get more views, and all without buying more camera kit as well. There's no talk of buying extra kit or any technical or creative stuff that you won't understand. And then step 3 is my 25-minute film school, because we've got the plan, we know how to optimize the videos, but then we're busy. We're all busy people. How do we find the time to make content for YouTube? That's what I'm going to go through. I'm going to tell you how you can effortlessly, I don't like that word, effortlessly produce weekly YouTube videos, essentially in your lunch hour, by batching videos. And that is the key thing. That, I think, is a value bomb, to write down straight away, because so few people understand how powerful it is to batch content and not create one video at a time. So that is what we're going to go through in the final steps, and make sure you stick around for that. Okay, so let's dig in. So step 1, your 12-month video marketing plan. So when businesses come to me and they understand that they want to start using YouTube in particular for their business, they know how powerful it is, but they just don't know what to make videos about. They don't know how to make videos that are relevant to their audience, videos that are going to not go out of date, videos that are going to be evergreen, essentially. We want to create content that is going to last for a very long time. So how do we go about creating our plan? And Star Wars, it's similar in a way to what I learned about Star Wars. Now, I am no Star Wars geek. I don't know if there is anybody in the chat who is, a big fan of Star Wars. You can probably pull me up on whatever I'm about to say if it's wrong. But the success of Star Wars and the Star Wars franchise is down to George Lucas creating a very basic content plan for the Star Wars saga. So he made a very experimental first feature film. It completely bombed, and he was told that he needed to make a successful movie if he was going to keep working in Hollywood. So he made American Graffiti, if you've seen that, incredible film, and that gave him the finance and the backing to make Star Wars. Obviously, Star Wars was a massive hit. Everybody loved it, and people wanted more. They wanted answers to the questions that were raised in the first film, questions about Luke, about his family, the Force, various other things. I've not seen it in years, but you get the drift. And so he knew that he didn't want to just rehash the first film. He wanted to create a saga. So he planned 3 trilogies, 9 films altogether. And he planned all of this while he was writing the second film. So Empire Strikes Back, he was just in the scripting stages of that. And he was essentially making a back of the fag packet plan for 9 films that would go across several decades. They ended up earning, billions of dollars, but I think he got around about 37 Oscars as well across all of the movies. And just from a very simple plan, when he was making the second film, to answer the questions that his audience had around that first movie, around the first Star Wars film. So we know that success requires a plan. We're not working on Star Wars levels of budget, obviously. But what we do know is that it's all built around what the audience wants. And this is the first thing I want you to write down, is that your video content plan, your YouTube marketing success plan, should be built around answering your customers' questions. That is the one and only thing your video content needs to do. You're a business, you're selling products and services. You're not an entertainment channel. You're not broadcasting about yourself. What you're doing in all your marketing, but specifically with your YouTube content, is you are answering your customers' questions, you're solving their problems, and all of that content, all of those answers that you give them, all those solutions that you provide, are going to be evergreen as well. So these are going to be videos that are relevant in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 years time, as much as possible. Some of you on this call will be familiar with Marcus Sheridan and his book, They Ask You Answer. He worked for a pool installation company around the time of the financial crisis, and he developed a marketing strategy that was built around answering all of his customers' questions, and that transparency turned his website into a trusted resource in his industry, and it boosted traffic, it boosted sales, it completely transformed and saved the business. Because people put questions into Google. That's how a lot of my business, how I get a lot of my customers. I know a lot of other expert-led businesses do, business coaches, mortgage brokers, web designers, personal trainers. People will put questions into Google because they need to find the answer. And so the job of your YouTube content is to be there with that answer with a video. As we know, Google is owned by YouTube. So despite all this talk about AI getting ahead of search results, video is always going to be there and it's always going to be above search results on Google as well. I did a video years ago about just writing a corporate video script. And there was another one about release forms, about if you need release forms and for your business. If you put those into Google, then my videos pop up on the top 5 there. And it's been like that since, well, for at least the past like 4 or 5 years. So that's what we want to create. We want to create video content that answers our audience's questions and gives them value. And so how do we organize those answers into a content plan to avoid being overwhelmed? Because it's all well and good. We could go to ChatGPT and generate a bunch of potential questions and answers. But how do we actually organize that into a plan so we don't get overwhelmed and lose track of the content we're creating? So I call this my orchard system. And it's a way of generating unlimited video ideas, and you can do it in just a couple of minutes as well. And so you're providing, as we know, answers to questions and solutions to your audience's problems in the form of a video. So let's go through how we can do that. The reason it's called an orchard system is because developing an evergreen YouTube content plan is kind of like growing your own orchard of evergreen trees. And there's 3 parts of this. By all means, write this down. I do have a Google Sheets template that I use for this. It's a dynamic template that you fill in one column and it fills in the rest of it. So I'll show you how you can get that later. But write down this for now. So each orchard, so each content plan, each business will have between 3 and 5 trees. And each tree within your orchard represents a unique ecosystem or topic of content in your YouTube channel. And so each tree, each ecosystem is made up of the same parts. So we have the root, which is the main subject area that you discuss with your audience, the main topic. Then stemming from that, you have the branches. So they are several subtopics, between 3 and 5 subtopics that are related to the root. And then finally, we have the fruit, and they are the video ideas that emerge from the branches. And you can see these are all interconnected as well. But let's show this a bit better. Let's see how this would work for everyone's favorite small business, the estate agent. So if we were to have 3 routes for our estate agent content plan, we would choose possibly buying a home, selling a home, and investment properties. You want to be as broad as possible with these routes. Essentially, imagine every question you're ever asked by your customers and how you would categorize those. You don't want any more than 5 there. 3 is more than enough. I think I've got 3 for my own content plan. Make sure they're distinctive and there's no overlap as well. Typical other ideas for routes could be maybe key features of your business like we have here, or objections is a good one. If there's a particular part of your business that people object to and ask questions about, then you could include that as well. So as we can see here, these are our routes for our estate agent. Then we move up to the branches. And then these symbolize the more specific categories that stem from those main topics. So all of these are linked to just the route that's underneath them. So first-time buyers, that is only ever going to be linked to buying a home. If we're thinking of doing some content around selling a home, first-time buyers isn't relevant to that, nor is investment. So make sure that all of those branches are directly connected to the route. And then finally, we go one step further and create our fruit, which is our individual video ideas. So these are where you talk about specific information, tips, or insights related to each branch. And these are what form the video ideas and the basis of our content. So as we can see on the left in our first time buyers branch, we have mortgage options. So we could do a video around what mortgage options are available for first time buyers. What is a chain? Maybe explaining the basics of buying a property, which would be very useful for first time buyers. Certainly would have been useful for the people who bought our house last year, but that's a different story altogether. And then if we go across to the far right, if we look at the investment ecosystem there, we have managing properties and then individual videos that are related to managing a property. So maybe if somebody has got difficult tenants in a letting or in a rental property, there could be a video around that, or whether it's a good idea to self-manage your property or use an agency. Again, these fruits, these ideas are only connected to this tree. There is no way that making a video about difficult tenants would be relevant to selling a home or buying a home. It's purely investments. So already you can see how this ecosystem works and how relatively quickly you can come up with ideas for your channel. So if you're a life coach, for example, you might have some roots around career and money, health and beauty, relationships and family. Then you move up to some branches that are specific to that area, and then some more video ideas that spread across all those branches at the top. Or if you're a design agency, you might decide that your audience asks you a lot about branding and digital marketing and web design, and then those are your 3 routes, and then you spread upwards and create ideas that way. So if you just do some very quick maths, if you've got 3 trees like this, and then 4 branches on each tree, so we've just got 2 branches here, but if we were to have 4 branches instead, and then 4 video ideas, 4 fruit from each of those branches, that would probably take you around about 20 minutes. I think maybe half an hour with if you haven't got a strong cup of tea. And you could brainstorm 48 video ideas by doing that. So 3 trees, 4 branches, 4 fruit on each. That gives you 48 ideas for video content. And even if half of those are good, then that gives you enough video content for 1 video a fortnight. And that's why it's a whole 12 months of video content. It's organized. It's not going to give you overwhelm because you can see clearly how each video relates to your audience. And so even if at the time it feels like it's quite niche that you're talking about how to get your first 1,000 email subscribers, as well as a step-by-step guide to rebranding, it might seem disparate when you look at them that way, but once you see it as a larger ecosystem, it makes perfect sense. And you're doing this over a long period of time as well. And it's not just me that recommends this as well. Here are some screenshots of some very early videos from some big marketing channels online. So I think we've got Pat Flynn there, Neil Patel, Tim Ferriss, I think Chris Ducker's bottom left, and then bottom right you've got Amy Porterfield. These videos go back 14 years, and these guys were answering questions and solving problems of their audience back then. As you can see, Amy Porterfield's video at the bottom right, it's just in her bedroom, not even 1,000 views on that, but that was part of a bigger ecosystem that has turned her into the marketing powerhouse that she is now. So if it worked for them, then there's every chance it could work for you as well. Let me know what you think about that in the chat, guys. See, there's a lot of chat going on in there. Hopefully you're not all talking about Star Wars too much or pulling me up on my my Star Wars knowledge. But yeah, hopefully you can see how that can work for you and how you can create an evergreen video marketing content plan for your business. Okay, moving on to step 2. Now, we have our content plan. Okay, we know what videos we're going to make. How do we actually go about making those damn videos in the first place? So I'm going to go through my top YouTube hacks here. I'm going to show you the 3 best optimization strategies that will make you get more views, outperform a large majority of businesses, and all without buying new camera kits. And in fact, it's all without anything relating to cameras. It's all YouTube related. And the key here is that we're talking about organic growth. And because the problem I get a lot is that people will come to me and say, yeah, I understand what kind of videos I want to make, but I just don't have the skills to make polished YouTube videos. You see a lot of influencers online. You see a lot of content creators who have really nice setup. My setup is pretty good, put a little bit of effort into it. But all the same, that is a big barrier for a lot of people. They don't want their videos to look unprofessional. They think that that is going to have an impact on the views that they're going to get and the engagement and ultimately the sales that they're going to get off the back of it. And for that reason, a lot of people do stick to social media. I get a lot of people who want to go viral on TikTok or LinkedIn, and that's where they're focusing their video marketing. So I'm glad you're here and we're talking about YouTube, because there is a huge opportunity in YouTube. And there's 3 reasons for that, really, when it comes to getting your videos in front of people. The first is that organic growth, so as in getting people to view your content and to engage with your content, only works with YouTube. Organic social media does not exist anymore. Plain and simple. If you put money behind your YouTube videos, if you want to put some cash behind some of your YouTube blogs to get it in front of your audience, that doesn't work. It has been proven time and time again that yes, YouTube ads are great if you're doing direct response, not a problem. But if you have YouTube content and you want to build an audience, then the only way to do that is through organic growth, not sticking money behind it. Social media is the opposite. You need to spend more and more money online now just to get people to look at your content. Even if you have thousands of fans on your Facebook fan page, it's very unlikely many of them are actually going to see your content. And the great thing about organic growth on YouTube is that a lot of the tactics, in fact, all the tactics, haven't changed since YouTube was launched in 2005. So it's not rocket science, but it's out there. It's plain as day what needs to be done. Another reason is that I've spoken about this before, but social media is landfill to me. People want to spend more time on social media and make videos for them, but it feels like you're forever on this treadmill of creating content. I've already spoken about evergreen content. I see YouTube as evergreen content because it's a search engine, so it's the content you put up there is relevant indefinitely. And that's why we want to focus on that as a strategy, because for social media, you post something on LinkedIn and within 48 hours, it is essentially disappeared from the news feeds. With Facebook, it's 24 hours, Twitter, it's 6 hours, and TikTok, if you don't go viral within, I think, a couple of minutes, and I think viral is technically like 100,000 views, then it's as if you haven't made that video and nobody's seen it. And that's why I'm talking about landfill, because if you're just endlessly on this treadmill pumping out content for social media, then it is going into landfill and it's not going to be discoverable. Whereas YouTube is evergreen, it's a search engine, other people will be enjoying that content for years to come. And finally, social media videos are actually judged more on production values than on the content, because they need to distract and impress people a lot more these days. Whereas with YouTube, the quality of the video itself doesn't matter. Now, of course, I'm going to say, by all means, pay somebody like me to make your video content. I'm more than happy to take $2,500 plus to make a video for you. Not a problem. But it's not actually as important as people think when it comes to YouTube. It's the organic optimization that really makes it shine. And so for those of you who signed up for the webinar, you would have received my checklist. So that's my organic impact stack checklist. It's 12 ways that you can organically optimize your YouTube videos. It's a kind of a worksheet for this, as well as a checklist to go through. A lot of it is set and forget strategies. You don't have to do it every time you upload a new video. A lot of it is templated that just takes a few seconds every time you upload a new video. I'm not going to go through all 12, obviously. We're already half an hour into this webinar, so I'm just going to whack through the 3 most important elements of the organic impact stack. Because there are 3 ways, or 3 places, that you capture people with your YouTube videos, or the way people find you and find your YouTube videos. They find you through search engines. They find you on YouTube itself, within the platform. And then they find you through the conversations that you have on your YouTube videos. And so let's talk about the first one first. Let's talk about search, how we get people to find our YouTube videos through optimizing them for search. And that is all down to using the correct titles on your video. Every YouTube video, for it to be search optimized, requires 2 elements within the title. You need a strong keyword, and that keyword needs to be embedded in an intriguing structure. So write that down. It's a strong keyword embedded in an intriguing structure. So if you've ever heard of a curiosity loop, that is where you kind of pose questions or reveal partial information to your audience that makes them want more. That's something that we can do to give them an intriguing structure. And it's very similar to selling on eBay. Back in the day, I used to sell all these CDs of karaoke files and guitar tabs. I didn't really know what they were. They were very basic CDRs that I just burnt, and perfectly legal, nothing illegal. It was all public domain stuff. But so many people were selling this stuff online, and just eBay titles were absolutely rubbish. They just didn't have the right keywords in there. And so I just did a bit of optimization on my listings. Having an optimized title with the right keywords just, absolutely took off. It gave me enough beer money to get me through university. And it was just through putting the right words on eBay. And it's exactly the same with YouTube. But we're not obviously searching for random tats on eBay. Our audience are searching for answers to questions and solutions to their problems. So the ultimate title that you want to use for your YouTube video is to use the questions that they are putting into Google. It really is as simple as that. So, for example, you've got your how, what, and when questions, very simple ones to start with. So how titles are perfect for instructional content. So, for example, how to fill in a VAT return. Questions that start with what are quite versatile. So you could have things like what is a property survey and what is WordPress, things like that. And then titles with when at the start tap into urgency as well. So when should I open a private pension? Might be a video idea for a financial advisor. But the key thing here as well is to, more than anything, keep it simple. Don't try and be smart or clever, because I don't know about you, but when I Google things, I barely get the letters in the right order, let alone have the time to create full sentences. So you want your titles to match those search queries as much as possible. Spell them correctly, obviously, but be simple first. Don't try and be smart, because that is simply not going to work when it comes to titling your YouTube videos. Other things work as well. Emotive language is good. Having numbers in there is really useful too. I've actually developed an AI tool that I have. It's actually embedded on my website. It's not a separate GPT. It's this tool spent the past couple of months developing, where you put in the transcript for a video, and that kicks out a YouTube title, description, and the tags just from what goes into, or just from the transcript. So that's all it takes. You just need to keep things really simple and make sure that you are answering the questions in the title that you're attaching to your video. That is the first thing. So we have captured our audience with search. Next is keeping our audience engaged within the YouTube platform. So let's say, for example, I've seen, so top right here is Caroline. I'm going to talk about her later. She's one of my clients. If I have searched about written warnings, maybe I want to sack someone in my business, and I've searched for written warnings online, and I've come across Caroline's video. Once I've seen one video on YouTube by a certain channel, YouTube is then going to suggest other videos from that channel to me. It just takes one video to do that. So you need to make sure that you can capture that additional traffic once you have people initially engaged with one video. And a custom thumbnail is the only way you do that. Having a custom designed thumbnail that is eye-catching is what makes people decide to click on the video. If it doesn't look good, if it looks shoddy, then people are quite simply not going to notice. They're not going to even make a decision not to watch it. They're simply not going to see it there amongst the crowd of other better designed thumbnails. The YouTubers that have like a huge following, YouTubers that don't rely on that initial search traffic, that have millions of followers, actually design the thumbnails first before they even make the video, because they know that's all it takes to get people to watch, is to click on that image. So they design those first and then think, okay, what would the video be behind that thumbnail? And there are certain things that have been proven to work as well. So you're not, it's not like designing a website, you're not starting from scratch. There are certain things that you can do. And once you have an initial design that works for you, you can just rinse and repeat it and tweak it, maybe create 2 or 3 different versions, and then just tweak it every time you upload a new video. So it's similar to how book covers and movie posters work. Once you've got a design that works and that people recognize, you're going to do the same thing again and again. No offense to Richard Osman, I have no idea how he writes so much and makes so much TV, but as you can tell from here and all the film posters, once you've got a design that works, that is going to catch people's eye, then you just tweak that design and you capture the audience that you want. And so a couple of things that you can do. So write these down. Definitely use faces. As we know, people buy from people. So having a face of the person who's presenting the video, or maybe a customer or someone in your team on the thumbnail is very important. Try and make sure they fill up around about 2/3 vertically of the frame. You don't really want like a waist up shot. You want, head and shoulders is ideal. Obviously bright, bold colors. For text, you want to keep it to less than 5 words because people are going to be viewing these on mobile as well. Mobile viewing is probably equal to desktop and laptop viewing when it comes to YouTube. So make sure that your text is clear and only use a few words so people can pick it out. Short and punchy. And again, keep it simple. Don't overload the design. What I do, obviously I use like Photoshop. I know people maybe use Canva or Adobe Express for designs. I don't quite like the designs they put out. I think the templates on Canva are a bit not quite as optimized in this way. But I've created a set of thumbnail designs in Google Slides. So that's basically Google's version of PowerPoint. And it works in exactly the same way where you've got a background, you can drop in some images, change the text, and then you've got your own thumbnail. And it's having that custom thumbnail because you don't want to pick a random, when you don't use a custom thumbnail, YouTube will show you a few examples of just random stills from the video. And that often isn't the most flattering or the most representative of your videos. So the easiest way you can create a custom thumbnail is just to use something like a Google Slides template, change the text, change the colors, and then jobs are good and you can crack on. Okay, so we know how our audience can find us through search. And then once they've watched one of our videos, they are within the platform and they see our thumbnails everywhere. They're like, oh, this company's quite prolific. I really like their first video. They make a lot of good content. Let me watch some more. Once they've watched a few videos, hopefully what they will do is they'll start to engage with you. They might might subscribe, but ideally they will leave a comment. And I know there's a lot of bad things said about comments on YouTube, but the kind of videos we're going to be making as business owners hopefully shouldn't attract those kind of people. But this is one thing that really annoys me when it comes to YouTube, because we're all about building relationships in business. But so many times I might watch a video and really get something out of it and think, you know what, I'm going to actually leave a comment and say, that video was great, thank you. I'd really like to see more of what you can do. And I'll scroll down to do that and I'll see 50 or 100 comments on this video and not a single reply from the person who made the video. And I'm like, who do you think you are to do that? It really does frustrate me because it's like this. What I'm talking about here is social media versus social networking. There was a shift in 2009. You can see it on Google Trends, where we stopped talking about social networking and we started talking about social media instead. And the two phrases just totally took over from each other. And I think that's what it is. I think we're too focused on creating content, on uploading as much media as we can, and we're forgetting about the networking side. But it's that side that actually builds relationships and builds businesses. And so just by simply commenting on your own videos, on what people say, can be incredibly powerful. And it's so simple to do as well. So you can use your videos and just add a section in the middle where you encourage comments by saying, let me know what you think in the comments if you've got any questions about the video. Very simple. And then if you go to, as you can see in the image on the right here, this is a screenshot from my YouTube studio. So it's studio.youtube.com. And then there's a comments tab on the left. And then you'll see every single comment on every single video on one page. And it will take you, even if you've got hundreds of comments, it'll take you half an hour to get through them all and just copy and paste a thank you, really glad you enjoyed the video. It takes absolutely no effort at all. But behind every comment is a human being. And the whole point of creating this content, obviously this marketing content, is to start relationships and start conversations and hopefully, get some business in. So you need to be replying to your comments, and so few people do it, and it is so incredibly powerful when you do. So those are the 3 things we need to do. So remember what I was saying earlier about your competitors are like too scared to use video? But you can see how simple it is. You don't need to have the fanciest camera kit. You don't need to pay some guy like me to make loads of videos for you. All you need to do is to have that optimized title, have some compelling thumbnails that catch the eye, and then just engage with your audience when they engage with you. That's really as simple as it needs to be. Let me know in the comments if that will make sense. Oh, Michelle, I can see you're here as well. Oh, fantastic. Michelle, I'm going to talk about you in a minute. Brilliant. I'm glad you're here. Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on. And there we go. That's who we're going to talk about now. Fantastic timing. So, yes, here I'm still talking. It feels odd that she's here and listening to me. But Michelle, I'm sure she won't mind me saying that she hated being on camera when she started making videos. I think she's part of the my academy, so she's received some of the learning I've shared so far over the past few months, and she was given the challenge of making a video once a day. And she was doing a 10,000 steps a day challenge for cancer research, and then she moved into making YouTube videos for her business. So her business is the Property Let campaign, and that's a UK initiative that enables landlords to voluntarily disclose undeclared rental income and save thousands of pounds in tax. So she's an accountant that does that. And she saw the value in answering her customers' questions. And she didn't spend thousands of pounds on camera equipment to do it, far from it. And I'm sure she won't mind me saying that. She doesn't bother, worry too much about, having fancy lighting setups or having a fancy camera. She just turns on her Zoom, has her default green screen background, and records some content that answers her audience's questions. And as you can see here from the titles, these are all very simple, and they have captured a lot of search traffic, so much so that when I asked her about it, she said that she was making around about £1,200 a minute out of her videos. £1,200 a minute just from uploading videos essentially from Zoom onto YouTube. And I don't have the stats here for how many views she had on her content, but I'm sure it wasn't in the millions. And so that shows that you don't need millions of views. You don't need to capture the biggest audience possible. You just need the right people to see your videos. And Michelle's working in a very specific market, and she's capturing that search traffic. She's using similar thumbnails across all her videos. So when people watch one video, they will then watch another one. And then she's engaging with them as well. She's answering their questions. So if it works for Michelle, if she can make £1,000 a minute plus from her videos, and it's just with her webcam and Zoom, then perhaps it can work for you as well. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. We're just on to the last step now in my transformation masterclass for YouTube. So we have our content plan. We know what videos we're going to make. We now know how to optimize them so they get in front of the right people and make the transformation for them and build conversations. But we're all busy. We are all very busy business owners or marketers. How on earth do we find the time to make these videos? And that's a big thing. Whether it's a case of setting up cameras and lights or actually scripting the videos in the first place, there is time that goes into making videos. So how can we speed that up? So there's a method I devised called the lunchtime social method. So if you don't want to pay a professional team to do it for you, if you don't want to put time aside to batch video content, and this is a super unique way that you can create, well, essentially a month's worth of YouTube videos in around about half an hour. That's why it's the lunchtime social method. So I started to look into what were the biggest channels on YouTube. I knew I wanted to figure out some kind of a system where people could make videos quick, because I know that's a big barrier for a lot of people. So I looked around and figured out that actually it's not the big marketing firms, it's not the big digital marketing agencies or YouTubers that are the most prolific on YouTube. It's actually the radio stations. And that really surprised me. So here we've got Dave Ramsey. So he's an American disc jockey. He makes a show about he gives financial advice on a radio show a couple of times a week. And he posts 3 to 4 videos a day on his YouTube channel. LBC, British radio station, they pump out 8 videos a day. And then Times Radio, for some reason, get up to 15 videos a day on their channel. And that's bonkers. I mean, obviously, these are radio stations, these are radio shows. Video isn't their main format of communication. But what they do is that they stick cameras in the room and just take the highlights and put out the best bits. There's barely any editing done to these videos. They'll just, probably not even top and tail with a logo or add in any graphics. They just have this live stream that's going, and then there's someone there that just clips out the best bit, adds on the title and the thumbnail, and then there you go, up to 15 videos a day if your time's radio. It's incredible. And this is another example of batching, as I was saying earlier, creating more than one video at once. Well, this is batching to like the nth degree. And so I thought this is quite an interesting strategy. I was like, I wonder if anybody is doing it already. And it turns out one of my clients was actually doing it already. I didn't realise it. So Caroline, I mentioned earlier, she runs a HR firm in down near Reading. And she, for the past several years, has gone live on Zoom once a week for around about 30 minutes. And her team will get together on a Zoom. They'll have their clients will join as well. And they will basically answer all the burning questions that their clients have about HR. How do I sack someone? How do I, get this kind of contract worked out, redundancy, all these things. And Caroline and the team will also share horror stories that they've read in the publications about HR and employment law and things like that. Really entertaining 30 minutes. And she rang me one day and she was like, Mick, I've just realised I've spent years putting together or putting out all this content, all this, video on Zoom, but I'm not doing anything with it. And she was like, can you edit them up for YouTube for me? And I was like, yeah, great, not a problem. And so that's what we did. We took all of Caroline's content for a month. So that was 4 calls around about 30 minutes each. Edited them with some simple graphics, just some drag and drop graphics. I'll show you how they work later. And I was able to create, I think, between 3 and 4 videos a week just from her lunchtime social sessions. It was an incredible amount of content. And so she now has a system in her business where she can give value to her clients through these Zoom calls and then repurpose that content for YouTube. There is some additional editing that I did to them, but you don't need to do that either. You could just take the best sections, the best 5 or 6 minutes, clip it out and put it on YouTube. And if that's already part of your process, or if that's something that you can do as a value add to your business, then jobs are good one, really. And I don't think there's any business on here that couldn't find half an hour a month to do that, to give some value to their customers and to their clients, answer their questions live on a Zoom call, and then, I don't know, maybe send that to a virtual assistant and get them to chop them down. Maybe they can drag and drop some simple graphics onto them just to increase the production value a little bit. It's incredibly, incredibly simple. So you remember what I was saying earlier about showing the faces of your business and your customers and your clients to build trust? That's exactly what this does. It's 100% authentic. And the amount of content you can create with this strategy is just bonkers. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much, everyone. We're just a few minutes before 6. So that is the end of the masterclass. Thank you so much to everybody for joining. We have gone through a lot. So you by now should have learned how you can create your own video content plan using the Orchard method, create a year's worth of video ideas. Then how you can take those ideas, create simple YouTube videos, and then optimize them for YouTube. And then how to create your own lunchtime social if you have absolutely no time in your month, and create essentially a month's worth of content in less than 30 minutes. So let me know in the comments how this was for you. I appreciate everyone who has been with me for the past 55 minutes or so. I hope you find that this is something that you can apply to your business. But of course, we've only scratched the surface. There is a lot more that we could talk about. There's a lot more I've wanted to put into this masterclass as well. So we'll get to the Q&A section in the end. Hopefully you made a lot of notes throughout this as well. So there's 2 ways you can take this now. Obviously you can take all your notes forward from today after the bank holiday, maybe book in some time to implement them, see what kind of progress you can make if you can find a slot in your schedule. Or the second option is working alongside me so I can help you and you can help me as a group, and you'll follow my step-by-step YouTube framework so I can help you launch, optimize and systemize your YouTube channel. And it'll only take a few weeks as well. So we've got another 5 minutes or so before 6 o'clock. So if you guys don't mind hanging around before you go get your tea, I might just spend a couple of minutes talking about this, because some of you might want to go beyond this free training. Obviously, you know I provide video production services as well, so it would be daft of me not to mention that I do that if that is of interest to you. But you know the average cost of a video now, you know how much that costs. So I have put together a little something. So this is an update of the YouTube course that I first did in 2013. This has been completely rebuilt from the ground up, and that's why it's called my Ultimate YouTube Growth System. So it's now a 5-week course, or 5-module course, I should say. And once you have this, then you'll be able to develop that evergreen content plan that you need for your business. I'm going to show you how to script effective YouTube videos, how to set up your channel in the right way so it looks professional. And also you'll get the simple set and forget strategies so you can optimize every video that you upload as well. So you'll get rid of any confusion around the YouTube platform, any overwhelm on what to do. It will be an easy to follow step-by-step online course that you will get lifetime access to, and you'll get instant access to it as well. Total value of $1,499. As I say, this course was first developed in 2013, and now this is something I bought bang up to date, and it will be updated every quarter because some things are changing. You know, things are occasionally added and removed from YouTube. So this will be updated every quarter as well, and you will get lifetime access to this as well. So the 5 modules in there, we first cover strategy, going around your content plan, how to be authentically entertaining in your content. I'm going to share my framework for scripting YouTube videos and also the magic formula on how long your videos actually should be. And I'll share my free website or free access website for speeding up content idea creation as well. Module 2, we're going to go through how to set up your channel in the right way. So unlocking the bonus features that you get within YouTube that not many people use, and also the one setting in YouTube Studios that helps you batch your YouTube content, as well as the branding elements to transform your channel into a professional showcase. Then we look into search discovery. So we'll dive deep into title formulas and how you can create optimized titles for your video that go beyond what we've spoken about now, as well as how to write descriptions that drive conversions and to properly use captions and subtitles for your videos and how they can actually help capture more traffic as well. Then we're going to go into the native discovery, so how you can get your videos discovered within the platform even more. So a full thumbnail design masterclass, how to bring interactivity to your YouTube videos as well. Not a lot of people know that you can actually make your YouTube videos interactive. And then how to encourage Netflix style binge watching with your content as well. And then the final module is conversational discovery. So we'll be talking about how you can make turn 30-second conversations with your audience into paying customers, and how you can piggyback on your competition with the clever and smart use of hashtags as well. And so because this, well, first of all, to say thank you to everybody. I should have said that earlier. Thank you to everyone who has stayed with me throughout this masterclass, throughout my first live webinar. I'm not shaking too much, but I really appreciate you hanging around. So I've spent so many years since 2009 making over 4,000 videos for other people. I'm now going to start my own YouTube channel. I'm going to relaunch my Box Set Media channel, and I want to do that with a group of people. I need and want an accountability group so we can all work together on building or relaunching, starting or, relaunching our own YouTube channels. So for the first 10 people that want to buy this course and want to follow through on this framework, you will get exclusive group coaching calls with me that will take us through those modules. So we'll spend a couple of weeks maybe working on the first module, jump on a coaching call, answer questions, work as a team, and then move forward to the next stage. So after those 5 modules, we will all have our full launched YouTube channel, and you'll have that lifetime access to the course as well. So this is something I'm quite excited about. I've wanted to launch my YouTube channel again for a while. A lot of my business I get is through word of mouth for Box Set Media, but this is more for the academy and for helping people make better videos. So this is something I'm really excited about. So I spent a few months developing and updating the course, but I've also put together a few bonuses for this as well. So you remember me earlier talking about my AI metadata generator. So this is a tool that's within the academy that creates high converting titles, descriptions, and tags just from the transcript of your video. So it's not a plugin for ChatGPT. You don't need an extra subscription for that. It is just one tool that is within my website, the membership website you'll get access to, and it will save you so much time. It's built from hundreds of high converting videos, so it's not just a prompt that's spitting out what it thinks works. It is built on titles and descriptions that have been proven to work, and so it reduces that trial and error and having to almost rely on clickbait tactics to get your content and to get your titles optimized properly. I'm also going to share with you my YouTube editing toolkit. So like I was talking about with Caroline's videos and the lunchtime social method, if you need a bunch of high resolution animations, these will give the perfect professional look to your video, and they just simply drag and drop onto your videos in your edit timeline. So you'll have end screen templates, call to action pop-ups, animated logos, all those things to take your videos from amateur and just level up the professionalism so much more. You're also going to get all my thumbnail templates. So I mentioned about designing all these thumbnails within Google Slides. And so those are the slides that you can see on the left-hand side. Those are actual designs that you'll have as part of this. And these are all professionally designed. No more ropey, non-custom thumbnails or dodgy Canva templates. And again, they're all in Google Slides. No additional software required. You download your version of it, find the thumbnail that works best for you, duplicate it and make a few versions, and then that's yours to use on all of your videos going forward. So you've got the course and the calls, you've got the AI tool, you've got the editing toolkit, you've got the thumbnail templates. You're also going to have the authority content worksheet. So this is my dynamic spreadsheet where you can create your own content orchard. So you will add in your routes on one part of the sheet, that will populate to the second and third part of the sheet, and within minutes you will have a full content marketing plan. Make it so easy for you to brainstorm ideas and keep on top of everything, and you can set up a solid production plan as well. It's got sections in it where you can keep track of videos you've made and scripts that you've written and when your videos have been released. So no more using random jotters to keep track of everything. You've got it all in one place. So you'll have that. You'll also get my channel branding templates. So these are simple templates that will turn your YouTube shop window into a professionally designed shop window for your business. They're eye-catching, and it will, like I say, completely transform the look and feel of your channel. And then you'll also get my video blog script blueprint as well. So you'll get the full course, the coaching calls, my AI tool, the editing toolkit, thumbnail templates, content planner, channel branding templates, and then my blog script blueprint as well. So it's the framework for every video you'll make. No more staring at a blank cursor. You'll have that structure to work from every time you do a video. So that's a lot. There's a lot in there, but there is quite a lot of time I've spent on this to create what I think is the ultimate YouTube platform. It's the ultimate YouTube growth system. That's why I've called it that. So a total value, obviously, spent several months and actually years developing this. I'm not going to charge you nearly $5,000 for this. But if I did, we've already heard from Michelle and how she made £1,000 a minute, more than £1,000 a minute from her videos. So if you could even do half of that, then that would probably be a good way to spend nearly $5,000. Or maybe if you're thinking of being the next Amy Porterfield and creating a full ecosystem of content to support your business, then that might not be a bad spend either. And you'll get lifetime access to this. You'll get personal access to me and all of these tools. It's literally everything you need to create an evergreen framework for the UK's most popular search engine. We know how AI is changing the written word and how we trust that online, and how faces and people and video content, it's been taking over the world for years. We know it's going to happen. And what AI is doing now, it's not going to take over video. I'm convinced that there are going to be things that are coming to place. So there's not going to be as much AI generated video content. So getting your face and your customers' faces out there, answering the questions of your audience, only 1 in 10 businesses are doing that because they're too scared to, or they can't be asked. One of the two, probably both. So, like I say, a lot of my work comes from the videos I make for clients. So I was thinking I could put all this out for free. I thought that'd be a good way to do it. I could just do a series of masterclasses for a group. But whenever I see that happen and whenever I'm a part of that, people never take action. And that's the thing. I'm sure people will take action after this webinar, but the whole point of me doing this is so you can actually make an impact on yourself. So I am going to charge for this. It's not going to be full price, but as you've, very generously given up your time and supported me on this webinar and stuck around till the very end now, I will give a quite significant discount for this week only. So that is a 90% discount on the full YouTube growth system. That's the full lifetime access to the course, access to all the live calls as well, the group coaching calls. You'll get my 3-in-1 AI metadata generator with unlimited usage as well. There's no caps on that, so you can use that as much as you want. My YouTube editing toolkit, drag and drop professionally designed animations that you can drop onto your edits. My thumbnail templates as well, authority content worksheet, so you can create your own orchard and have a solid content marketing plan that actually works beyond video. You can use it for social content and blog content, anything else that you're doing in your business, you can use it for that. My channel branding templates as well, so you can have a professional looking shop window on YouTube. And then the video blog script blueprint as well, so you can avoid staring at that blinking cursor and you know where to start when writing your videos. So if you go to boxsetmedia.co.uk/YouTube, there will be a page there where you can check out and get instant access to the course. And then later in the week, before the bank holiday, I'll email the first 10 people who sign up with information on the coaching calls. If you are not in that first 10, then you will get access to the recordings of the calls, but you won't be able to be involved with the calls themselves. So that's why, I only want to keep it to a group of 10. If it was 30 or 40 or 50 people, nobody would get value out of it. So I'm limiting it to 10 people for that. So I highly recommend if you want to actually take action on this, then you go for that. So you can have that one-to-one time with me and everyone else in the group as well. It will be a group coaching call. So we'll all be there to help you. You'll get feedback from me and from everybody else. And we know how important it is to have accountability and have people to bounce ideas off. So let me know how that sounds. Like I say, the average cost of one video is $2,500. So I'm basically giving you the formula for unlimited video ideas for just a fraction of that. And there's a 30-day guarantee with this as well. If you take the course, if you get it and you're like, actually, I don't like this anymore, that's fine. Just drop me an email. I'll refund you and won't say anything more about it. Not a problem at all. Also, if you do decide to go ahead, if you still think after you've watched the course, after you've gone through the course, you're like, you know what, I understand everything that we're saying in the course, but I just can't be asked to make the videos myself, then I will give a significant discount on video production services as well. So a year's worth of YouTube content, so that's one video a fortnight, comes in at around $2,500. So that is like 3 days filming to get the actual content, like talking to camera, and then another day generally filming general shots of a business, and then obviously editing all those together as well. So $25,000 is a significant amount of money. But if you go through this course and you're like, actually, I don't want to do it myself, I want Mick to do it instead, then we'll knock $10,000 off that, and we can make a plan to create your content. We can do just 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is, but just, if we're talking about batching and doing as much in one time, the cost savings, the economy of scale of doing 12 months of content in one go is far greater than doing just a few weeks or a few months. So if you do decide after taking on all the knowledge and writing your scripts that actually I want someone else to film these scripts for me, then you'll be able to do that as well. Okay, fantastic. Thank you again, everyone who has stayed around for this. Yeah, I have had a fantastic time talking to you all. I'm just going to pop that on there now, and I'm going to jump into the chat to see if we have any questions on there. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Leonor, Ashley, Tracy, lots of people in there. I'm going to, so there's a lot of comments in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've got a few questions. If you want to add in any questions now, then I will see them and I'll be able to answer them. But I'm going to bob through a couple of questions I've got. I can't find my phone, but they're on here. Yeah, is YouTube, so I've never used YouTube before. Is this for me? So yeah, I said earlier that this kind of content, this course is for anyone, whether you're a beginner to YouTube, you've never used it before, never posted, or if you already have several videos on the platform, maybe you produce content regularly, but you want to elevate certain elements of how you make content. The organic impact stack is where the real value is, because there's 11 elements there that really add significant value to every single video you post, and that's whether it's videos from now on into the future or videos in the past, because as we've said, YouTube is a search engine. So if you have hundreds of videos on your channel and you're watching this thinking, oh, I've not done any of that, I've done all that wrong, I've got all this, hours and hours of content and the thumbnails are crap and the titles aren't right, it's like, doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't have a memory. If you change all the thumbnails overnight and all the titles to something that's far more optimized, then you're not going to be penalized for it. It's not like changing a blog post. I know some things can be funny when it comes to WordPress and changing blogs, but yeah, YouTube isn't like that. So if you have zero experience or if you're very experienced in YouTube, I'm sure you'll get something out of this. Will the course be updated with YouTube, all the changes? Yeah. Like I say, every quarter I'm going to do a review on the course, add in more elements, take out anything that's not relevant anymore, because YouTube does change a lot. Obviously, YouTube Shorts is a relatively new thing that was added in, but a lot of the optimization elements that I've spoken about already have been around for, over 10 years, or like around 20 years, 2005. Yeah, God, time flies. So yeah, they've been around for a long time. So, but yes, the course will be updated. It sounds like a lot. Yeah. Like I say, there is a lot that you'll get as part of this. But the question, will I get overwhelmed? The answer is no. So every video has actionable steps that you can take at the end of it. So it's not a case that you're going to watch like a 10-15 minute video and then just be left to go and figure out what to do. Every video will take you through the what, when, where, and why of that particular element. And then you will be given actionable next steps that you can take. And these steps can, you can just do 1% of it and make an impact, or you can, invest a bit more time and, like I say, update all of the titles on your videos, or just update the titles that you do on your channel going forward. So there's structure to all the modules, actionable steps, and there's also quizzes as well at the end of every module. They're not tests. You'll be able to progress if you don't get the quiz right, but they're just little elements like that that really help consolidate those core learning points as well. And obviously, if you're on the group coaching calls as well, then that'll help as well, because we'll all be together. We can all answer each other's questions and help as a group. That's really useful. Don't need any special software. Someone asked, do I need special software? No. YouTube is free to use. You don't need to use any third-party tools. I know there are some third-party tools for YouTube, but you don't need any of those for what I'm going to teach. You don't need any extra subscriptions as well. Like I say, the AI metadata generator, that's part of the membership. There's no caps on using that. You don't need a ChatGPT or any kind of extra subscriptions like that. Okay, cool. how much time do we need? So Ashley says, how much time do we need to put in, please, Mick? So you get out of it what you put into it, of course. But for the course itself, there's around about 20 videos across the entire course. And like I say, there's actionable steps at the end of each one. So I recommend you go through definitely the first module. The first module is a bit of a primer to develop your content plan, and then you move into module 2, like as and when you're ready. Really, there is no rush for this kind of thing, and just making that 1% gain with each module you'll take, will have a huge impact. So I would say you could put in half an hour a week. You could get half an hour to an hour a week to watch one video and take action on it. Probably a couple of videos depending on which section you're on. So hopefully that answers your question, Ashley. Thank you for that. Leonore's got to go, packing to travel. Goodbye, Leonore. Thank you for coming. James says, should you switch on monetization once you have enough subscribers and views? Yeah, monetization is great. Like I say, monetization is kind of beer money. We don't go into great detail of that in the course. But yeah, monetization, I think you need like a certain thousand amount of view hours to enable monetization. So that means that ads are placed on your video, so you earn a bit of money. So yeah, I'd recommend doing that. Earn a bit more money. Why not? What time of day will the courses be, as this is out of office hours? So the course itself is, you can watch it whenever. So the actual course content, you have access to the videos for life, so you can watch them whenever you want. The actual coaching calls themselves, I'm probably going to put out a poll and see when works for everybody, because I know some people work certain days, other people don't work others. So I'll probably figure out a system where we can come to some agreement. Maybe I'll do 2 groups, do multiple groups if it really works out badly for some people than others. So it's not set in stone by all means, and we're not going to start like first day after bank holiday. I'm not going to put anyone through that. You can have a few days off before we start to get into things. So there'll be a bit of time yet before we start that. So don't worry about that. You meant questions about your course, not simply general questions. I mean, you can ask general questions if you want, James. I'll do my best, but I'm no Richard Osman, as we've said. Can you update a video once it's live and been watched? Is the vocal content analysed for YouTube? What frequency to post is best? Quite a few things there. So once a video is on YouTube, it is on YouTube until you delete it. You can't replace it in the back end. So for example, if you have, this live stream, for example, this is going to be on YouTube afterwards. I can't then replace the video itself. I have to delete it and upload a new video, if that answers your question there. Is the vocal content analysed for YouTube's SEO? Yes and no. So part of the search optimization part of the course is around captions and subtitles, and YouTube automatically captions your videos now. It uses its own AI algorithm to give you fairly accurate captions on your videos, and they are part of the optimization. So it's important to make sure you have captions enabled, and if you can spell check them, make sure your keywords are spelled correctly in there, then that does help towards. So strictly, yes, vocal content analysed for YouTube SEO, then yes, I guess is the answer. Can you put the link here? Michelle says, yes, I can. Let me just type that in. If you guys want to go ahead on that. That should be correct. There we go. Let me just click on that and make sure that takes you to the right page. I'm going to pin that message there. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. I know you're all probably desperate for some food now, or you have kids to feed or animals to walk. Do you delete bad comments that have nothing to do with the video? Yes, of course. Yeah, if it's not adding to the conversation, then by all means do that. I'm sure anybody who's run Facebook ads know that you occasionally get people who just add like nonsense comments on there for no reason. Yeah, you can delete them, absolutely. Yeah, Michelle says they have very few views on some of the videos, sometimes only 3 or 4 views. Exactly, it doesn't matter. You don't want to be chasing thousands and millions of views or chasing that monetization. You want to make sure your videos are aimed at the right target audience and it's answering their questions. And there might be just a very small amount of people in the world that are asking that question, but at the moment, they're not those questions aren't being answered. It happens to me several times a day. I Google something and Google is giving me all these answers that I'm like, no, that's actually not what I want. You've only listened to the first part of the query. It's actually this part that I want answering. And so the more niche that you are in what you do, it's probably going to be more beneficial to you to use YouTube, because you can be that go-to person that finally answers all the questions on the Let Property campaign like Michelle is, because no one else is doing that. And it's a very niche thing. And a lot of her questions, I think, are around, is this campaign still going? Is the Let Property campaign still a thing? And she's like, yes, it is. Yes, this is what I do. So yeah, absolutely. Don't obsess over the vanity metrics of subscribers or of views, because you're helping your audience. That's the thing. The reason I started my YouTube channel initially was to answer those questions that I got sick and tired of answering. So do I need a release form for my video? What goes into a filming day? Who does what on a film set? All these things. How much does this video cost was a great one. I made these videos, so if somebody asked me that, I could just send them that in an email and be like, here you go, look at this. And if that helps a client get over the line, which it often does, because I embed these videos within my proposals, within my video proposals, then that's all that matters. If I've only got 20 views on a video that ends up giving me several tens of thousands of pounds of work, then that's more important. You can't take likes and subscribes and views to the bank, can you? So yeah. Okay, wonderful. Seeing if there's any other questions on here. I'm going in reverse, so I'm seeing all the reverse chat. I have just drawn a tree. Well done, Ashley. Gold star to Ashley for drawing a tree. Well done. It's good Wednesday night if you've drawn a tree. Okay, Leonor says Star Wars was a hit because Lucas had the right people behind him to rein him in. He wanted to make Luke have 9 arms and other stuff. Okay, I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. There's plenty of Star Wars documentaries. I maybe should watch one. The one thing I did learn is that apparently George Lucas wanted to make Flash Gordon. That was like his childhood dream, was to make his own space opera, and he really wanted to make Flash Gordon, and they wouldn't give him the rights. So he was trying throughout the 70s to make Flash Gordon, and he just couldn't get the rights. So when it came to, he had the money to make a space opera, he was like, right, I can make Flash Gordon. And they said, no, you can't. He was like, okay, I'll invent Star Wars then. And so he obviously invented, Luke with 9 arms and other stuff. Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to scroll back down again. Michelle says she can't seem to click the link. I'm not sure if it's clickable. If you copy and paste it into your browser, it will take you to the page. But yes, you'll get an email. I'm going to drop everyone an email on the list shortly. So if you're signed up to my Video Marketing Minute email list, if you get an email from me every Thursday, or if you're a client of mine or have taken one of my courses in the past, I will send you a link very, very shortly if you want to take advantage of this. But I think that's everything for today. So thank you again, everybody, for joining me for this. I've really enjoyed it. I've been very nervous about doing this, I will be honest. Today has been me pacing around a bit and just trying to make sure all the slides are right. And I really appreciate your patience. I really hope that I can work with some of you guys developing your YouTube channel as I develop mine. But if that doesn't happen, then I hope you got something valuable out of this masterclass. You will be sent a link where you can watch the replay as well. So the replay will be up on YouTube. It'll also be on my website. So you'll get a link for that in a few days as well. So yes, that just leaves me to say thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. So cheers. Bye-bye.